Well, let me not hold you up too much longer. Good evening, everyone. Um, I tried to do this earlier today, but I was at work and doing it on your AirPods is very much ghetto. So whoever comes in hears it not. I will be still talking because this is new to me. So hello, everybody. My name is Junoric. I am currently covering the Megan Thee Stallion versus MilagroGramz case. Today was day one, which only got into the jury. It was jury selection as well as Milagro's testimony. She was the first witness to talk today. And so let's get right into it. This be my first time at the courthouse. Is crazy because I've never actually been in a courtroom. So this being the first time is actually a very awesome experience. But I will not lie to you. Jury selection is boring as hell. Okay. First and foremost, let's get into Milagro and Megan. So first thing I know when I walked into the courthouse, now mind you, the court case started at 9 o'clock. They got started at 9:30 due to the fact that the lawyers had to do a questionnaire. I don't know if it was regarding to the jurors themselves because there was 61 of them that they had to get through to decide who they're going to pick for the case. So let me start from the beginning. I'll get to the jurors. So when I first walked in, I noticed Megan and Millie. You can tell that Megan did not want to be there. Um, Honestly speaking, at this point, due to Megan going through the situation with Tory Lanez, and of course Milagro now being considered the mouthpiece for Tory Lanez as he's now, I want to say, permanently sitting in jail. This case is starting to feel like Tory 2.0, which is something that Milagro's team did reference because as we get into my notes, they asked a couple questions that needed to be put out there to decide for the jury. So, um, what I found crazy outside of how Megan like she wouldn't be the fuck there, she was not really engaging with her lawyers, which I found kind of weird. But I think because that's money on the ground, okay, she ain't got to do shit, and lawyers are handling it. And the fact that all her lawyers were Caucasian, there's a white dude that's her primary lawyer. He's the one being the one that talks for her, and she has three female lawyers with her as well. There was two other people sitting in the corner who I can identify, but until they started going over who are the witnesses, I realized that one person was T. Ferris. He was already there on the first day. Milagro, she seemed uppity. Um, just because the fact that she kept looking back to see who was there. And all her lawyers are black. She has two female lawyers and the one male lawyer. And one of the lawyers apparently had only be added recently, maybe a couple days ago, probably last week on Friday when they came in. So did not recognize her because Rhonda Dixon, who was supposed to be there, did not show up anymore. So I'm sure this young lady was her replacement. So when I walked into the courthouse, the first one that actually not was not Megan and Millie, actually Megan Cuniff. She was literally, I think, at the door walking out when I was going in. She's pleasant. I got nothing negative to say about her. And then I sat down. Um, Actually on the juror side by accident. I didn't know they were coming in to do that today. So once they moved me over to the right side, probably 30 minutes in is when they finally started. So it's about 9:45 now. So it was given Millie was looking nervous, but again, I can't tell because she's looking back, she's talking to the team, she's looking back, talking to the team, and I was kind of confusion, but whatever. So um they wanted 8 to 9 jurors. 6 are primary, 3 are alternative. I'll get to that in a little bit. I'll reference the fact that Megan's lawyer is primarily white, Milagros are primarily black. But what I noticed, and I don't think that goes for every court case because we're in Miami and Miami's predominantly Latino, there was a lot of Latin men and women in this jury pool versus like Caucasian white men and women and black men and women. I want to say there's maybe 14 black people in there, and mixed between Black American, Black Caribbean, probably biracial, Afro Latino. So, like I said, there's 61 people in this jury selection. So as they're starting the case, Megan is the plaintiff, and so Megan's accusing MilagroGramz, well, the Milagro Mr. Cooper, of defamation, the deepfake video that got played in court today, 3 times at that, cyber stalking, publishing false statements, perjury, and alcoholism. Child, I was like, girl, not alcoholism, child. Uh, I said, this is a case that tossed it comes to the bullshit. Because I'm like, girl, what are y'all talking about? And they brought up Tory Lanez, and like, we'll get to that in a little bit. And also, obviously, she's suing for emotional distress because, of course, Millie cyber stalking and putting all these lies on her, got her wanting to sue her for a little bit of coin. As Milagro is the defendant, she claimed defamation is false, saying she's using her platform to speak like everybody else does. Because obviously, being a commentator, we do celebrity gossip. You're supposed to give your opinion. We have definitely seen that millions of opinions have been daggering at Megan Thee Stallion, but I digress. They claim that Megan's a liar. It says Megan's involved in is not involved in her emotional distress. So as I was jotting down the jurors, I'm gonna say numbers. They're not gonna make any sense if you can't see them physically as I'm speaking. However, let's get into the question they asked about Megan and Tori and Milagro per then deciding as they start dwindling down who to pick for the jury. So they asked, I believe, 5 questions in my notes I have here. So the first question they asked was, do jurors can which jurors in the room know anything about the case regards to Megan and Tori? Not Megan and Millie, Megan and Tori. So it was about one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9 people that would be considered conflict of interest due to them knowing some form or fashion of the Megan and Tori lawsuit. They asked the jurors, how do people feel about Megan, positive or negative? Only 2 people raised their hand for that. They asked the jurors, do they know who Milagro is? Nobody raised their hand. I was not surprised by that, only for the fact that, like, not many, especially because, again, Latinos and a couple black folks in the room, and most of them look older than the age of 30. Now, mind you, from my observation, there may be a couple of 20-year-olds, like 20-ish-year-olds in there, but majority of them were 30 plus. So I'm not expecting them to know who bloggers are. Um, they asked, how do we feel about Tory? Which is crazy because it was 5 people who recognized who Tory Lanez was, um, either positive or negative. And I started at that point. I started taking down the demographic. So you had 3 men, 2 women. The 2 women are black. 2 of the males were black, but one person was Latino. And then they asked who knew anything about the shooting, the Megan and Tory shooting. You had one, two, three, four, 4 men and 3 women. Primarily, most of them were black. So what I started noticing was that the black population don't know what the hell was going on, but the black population knew what the hell was going on. But the older heads didn't know nothing. And when I get to who they want to picking, you'll see why I say that. Um, of course, they asked, did anybody know what about this trial? And nobody raised their hands. So obviously, this is, for those of us who have been watching it from day one, obviously people in the room did not know what the hell was going on. So they then asked, who can make an unbiased opinion? You had one, two, 3 black men, 2 black women, and one Latina. And the funny thing is, the 2 Latinas who I keep referencing, I'm not saying their names, nothing obviously, but they kept giving their answer like every time they asked a question. So they must be younger and must be more involved with me because they do know about the Megan and Tory story, not more or less Megan and Milagro situation. Um, So I took some notes down from some of the jurors that raised their hand for certain questions. Again, obviously won't say their names, but I will like reference to what they were saying. So one of the jurors, he was a younger guy, probably in his like mid 20s. He brought up he was Christian, and that would kind of well, how he put it, he was like, "Well, I'm Christian. It's about my morality, and I don't think that this case, due to what nature of it is, that I can be on, like give my real honest answer to stuff." And and let me get to how these lawyers are all funny. Um, Judge Antanaga, she, mind you, a white woman, funny as hell, because she was throwing so much shade to the juror pool. I don't know how old she is, but she funny as hell. So Megan's lawyer goes to the boy and was like, this ain't got nothing to do with Ten Commandments. Almost giggled out loud. He was like, no, I understand, but like, me being Christian, thing like that. I'm like, okay, okay, I get you, bro, but like, this ain't that, right? Okay. Um, Another thing that was kind of funny, because I said that this case had primarily Latinos in the room, was that four or five of them, you could tell by the accent, did not know English good. And Judge Antanaga like pressed on that for some reason, and I'm like, this is Miami, girl. You know how these people act around here. Because out of the five of them, four of them were in healthcare and or teaching jobs. One of them was a professor. Three of them worked in the medical field, and the other person was an electrician. But they've been here more than 15 plus years. And when Judge Antanaga asked them, "Oh, but you know English good?" "No, I know English, not that good, 60%, and I only understand so much." I'm like, "Girl," and then y'all wonder why Trump. Anyways, not getting to that, but whatever. Okay, cool. So, here we go. So where we at now? A phlebotomist nurse. Anyway, I don't understand that shit. Okay. I'm referencing one of the jurors that they said might be an issue due to the fact that he works in law enforcement and he has been in certain cases regards to um child porn and rape, because if I'm gonna put on YouTube, I gotta watch my words. And I was interested by that because there was also another gentleman in the room that was a retired teacher, and they seemed like they wanted to pick him, but then they didn't, because obviously he had been in a couple court cases over the years. And they're like, well, he gotta know what the deal is, so we might not be able to pick him. Um, there was also a teacher, and I'm getting to this later, so I'm making a little reference to it now. This specific uh chick, she had an incident with a student. Nothing to do with her, obviously. The student got in trouble or something. But I'm gonna reference that a little later, because I'm gonna bring that up when they start getting into picking the jurors. So one of the jurors, they said that they're making an app, and you could tell like when he said that, both Megan and Millie Jo were like, no. Anyway, reference to one of the jurors, which is a black older man. Now, this man, Mr. Miller, man, he got that put that shit on type of nigga. He giving unk. He giving like, I don't play that shit. He's also a teacher. He teaches financial literacy for black children, and you could tell by how he spoke about how the fact that he is like no nonsense, and he don't play that. Tell me what the hell going on. He be like, listen, y'all got issues, go to y'all counselor. I ain't doing this with y'all. Love that for him. Um, and then we get into what I find particularly crazy, is because they made a reference. So this is Millie's one of Millie's lawyers. They give the sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. And I don't know why they use that phrase, because they'll reference to Megan being cyber bullied, and like four people decided to speak up about what they went through. And as I'm getting into the juror selection, there's two young women who went through their own personal issues that I think And once I think because of how they were questioning these two women, that they probably wanted two women to be on the in the juror pool to be picked, and Judge Antonaga was like, "Yeah, no." I can tell she's actually a fair judge because them two have been very biased in the Megan's favor. Um, where am I at? Okay, so when they're asking these questions, one of the jurors mentioned the fact that social media is dangerous for the kids because now that everybody's access to a cell phone, that it's easy now to get bullied on social media because all it takes is a quick picture post or whatever, and boom, your kid getting bullied and then they wanna hurt themselves. We know how that goes. Um One of them, ah, crazy work. It's just funny how people aren't really like in tune in the room because there was somebody gotta love the older generation. They called on him and he was juror number two, and when he said, "Oh, I'm number 67," sir, that's your age. Try to laugh at that. That was so funny. There was one Pacific juror that was really iffy. I forgot what he said. Oh no, it was a black dude and he's like early 30, was fine as hell. But you could tell he knew too much and like he kept saying stuff and like, "Hey, we'll talk to you later." Like, yeah, you're not getting paid because you know too much. And then I'm getting to the ones they picked now. So let's move on to the ones they picked and let's get into the two I was speaking on. So it's juror number 10 and juror number 28. So, and the two, they're women, obviously. So, number 10, child. I knew she was getting a chop because of what she talked about. She said that she back when Instagram first started, so back in the old IG. She said she was what in middle school and said that she got bullied and on commit, take herself out, unalive herself. And I was like, girl, why would you tell the court that? I mean, I know you under oath, but like, girl, why would you do that? And so her and the other young lady, which is juror number 28, that's the one that said that her kid got bullied so bad that he got Baker Acts. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, hello? And as they were chopping, right? So now that everybody gonna give their spiel, in regards to how they feel about the court case, how it relates to them, people getting triggered, people who are related, X, Y, Z. Now they're going to the selection. So as I said in the beginning, they wanted nine jurors. They wanted six, you know, the six main and the three alternative. So again, telling you Jordan was gonna mean nothing because you don't see face or anything. So let's get into why they were making decisions that they wanted number 10, number 28 to be on the juror because, as like I said, Megan's lawyers were kind of like, well, that be, I could tell how they're working it, like that'd be good for the case, obviously, like, whatever. And they also called Miss Girl number 28 back in the room because they wanted her. They asked, like, oh, do you think that, because you dealt with your kid getting bullied that you be able to be a good asset to the court case. She's like, yeah, I think I can be a good asset. And Millie Laura said, no, chop, because they both had the ability to chop three people. If there was an agreement, if they chopped it, automatically means no. So yeah, both of them got chopped. Um, and so as they're dwindling down into the final nine, we have six Latinas, so black Latino men and women. You got six of them. You got I guess a questionable white Caucasian. I can't tell if he's a white Latino or just white. And then you have the unc, and then the sister who I believe is Haitian. So those two are on the primary set, and the other three are in the back. So I honestly thought it would have been more black people because I was like, okay, well, this is like a black case, but stupid, duh, why would they do that? Gotta be kind of biased, so no. Okay, so they pick the jurors, go to a lunch break, and now we are coming back in. So, woo, all right. Megan's people came off mad strong. Like they were not playing in their open statement, mind you. One of the young ladies came to present the opening statement, and when I tell you, I was like, "Girl, oh my god!" Because why did as they pulling up on the screen, right? Because we got three screens, and then for everybody to see a projectile and two, three other ones, right? So as they're going over what this is about, they open up the court case with the gunshots going off. I'm like, oh, they not playing. So the five shots go off. That's how they open it. They said that they feel like Milagros using the Megan the Tory case for clouts. Says there's no receipts, and that she needs to be able to prove that, because again, what has Malaga basically done said Megan is lying by getting shot by Tory. The assessment is allegedly that Kelsey the one did it. Tory's the one in jail and Kelsey got immunity, and that now that you are being branded as their mouthpiece, that you need to be able to prove that outside of you doing your commentary that this man ain't make you, head honcho. However, we all know, well, let's not say we all, because not everybody fought the case from the jump, but everybody know that for following it, and they said it in the case. So I can say this out loud, obviously, about the payments that Milagro received from Tori, the fact that she met with the father, and that the father came in town to meet with her, and correlation between Milagro and Tori, my sister's MilagroGramz in the building, all that shit. So I start off, right? They're saying, okay, 7/12/20, which is how with all this started, they're the actual shooting. Um, and I kind of paused because the situation is that May got shot in both her feet, but it was strapped in the back of the heel. And when they said feet, I was like, but we know it's not. Okay, fine, because it's not my case. Um, They brought up Milagro and AK's podcast episode when she came to Miami. And I was like, damn, they got that. Obviously, I should know their lawyer. They're gonna get every little nickel and cranny. But I'm like, oh shit, they really did. They dug, right? Okay. Um, they said that Milagro tried to use Megan's parents into her brand and Tory Lane's team. So I'll get to the witnesses in a second because I want to make sure I leave myself there into the right. So I was just craziness because as they're still talking about what they're gonna bring to the case, they bring up the music video that Tori had with the horse leg and shit. I was like, oh, they gonna make sure to tie your ass to this man. So let's get into the witnesses because they named them today, so I think I'm allowed to say it at this point because now it's not a damn secret. Okay, so obviously Megan, duh. Um, T. Ferris. Now I said this earlier. I don't know if I made sure I said this, but T. Ferris is in the room today, and I didn't know that was him until they put a picture up, and I was like, "Oh, that's T. Ferris. Oh, shit, he here. Okay, cool." They're bringing up Dr. Lenore Walker, which is the young lady who treated Megan's wounds or whatever. Y'all know him as Noir, but they called him by his government name, which I can say out loud. But I'm like, oh, not Noir, child. They said they got depositions from Tori Sunstar, Aiden Ross, academics who apparently in town right now. Toll free, Caesar Pena, who is a dude that runs what was the organization that girl was getting covered by? Unite the People. And somebody else I could not remember because they moved his name too fast. And Mr. Sean McDermott, who was the forensic person that went through all social media stuff and all the text messages. Um, man, let's get into other things they got into. They played the fact that Megan, I mean not Millie, that Millie called Megan a retarded hoe and alcoholic. They played those audios out. They referenced the deepfake corn video, and they played it not once, not twice, but three times. And I was like, y'all really don't play this that many times? And lo and behold, they play it anymore the rest of the time we're in damn court. Like, girl, we don't want to keep seeing that because it's not her. Like, why you keep playing it? Um, Mention the fact that they not playing with her because they pulled station head audio. They played one of her YouTube videos. Um, they are pressing the fact that she promoted a deepfake video. And when they said some play the audio that Millie said her pussy not hit for shit because of the fact that you mad that Kelsey basically you fucked behind Kelsey, I almost screamed. Cause baby, how you okay, girl? Right, we reference the fact they talk about station head, right? Okay. They even pulled a receipt of Sunstar texting Millie to talk off the record, which she was not supposed to do that and still did it. And then also made a reference to another DM talking about asking Tori for an exclusive and how that would change her life. Like they were just pulling everything. I was like, girl, you are cooked. Um and they pulled the fact that she was on payroll because they have the receipts of Sunstar sending that money on Zelle. They didn't show that receipt today, but they referenced it. So I'm pretty sure when you get into like Tory Lanez and stuff and everything like that, knowing that Tory Lanez kept denying their position, that will come up. All right, that was Megan's team. Let's get to Milagros' team. Um, as I said earlier, they're saying that this is Megan 2. I'm not Megan, Tori 2.0. They feel like y'all keep dragging Tori into this. This is not about Tori. This is about Megan and Milagro. So they're saying it's basically crazy how this happened in California. Y'all from Texas, but you're doing it in Florida. Which, by the way, um, I didn't even know that Megan had a residency here. But apparently, when after she got shot by Tori allegedly. I'm still saying like that. Um, she went and got a place down here. Now I do remember when Tori was living down here because he was living down here during the pandemic. That she was away at his crib. So apparently that's when she moved down here. Not with him, obviously, but I don't really know like where she stays. We'll get into that too because apparently there's a receipt of Millie having Megan's address saved to her damn phone. Like, girl, it was get obsession. Like if I didn't know you, it was get obsession. Like, what the fuck are you doing? All right, let's get back to my notes. Again, I said that they find it crazy that this happened in Cali, y'all in Texas, but you in Florida. All right, whatever. They basically said this is sympathy, payola, and distraction. Um they said they talked again. If you know Milagro, you know that every other word with her is a curse word. And they said people always ask you why are you so vulgar, and apparently the jury was looking crazy in the face, like, damn, bitch, you was gonna be cursing like that all the time. Like, whoa, I'm telling you, these 9 jurors are over the age of 30. All of them. So, especially that one of them was the damn teacher. So imagine Uncle looking at Millie, who convinced to be his damn daughter age. Like, damn, bitch, you cursing? Like, oh my girl. Okay, let's keep going. Um, they're claiming that this is not about social media. This is not the headlines. So, basically they're saying that, you're claiming that Millie used Tori's case to build your brand, and her lawyer's like, that's not what it is. Don't do that. Um, they said that, Megan be fake crying. And if you see her lives, if you see, and this is despite this case. If you ever gonna make the stories, making the story, if you ever gonna make it the Stallion's live, if you ever gonna make it Stallion's live, that girl can cry on instant. I don't blame her, actress, pocket, but girl, really. Um, They're saying that all that Millie talks about is opinions, nothing is facts, so how can you hold her to an opinion? Even though we know that Millie be saying this should be true, whatever. So, child, okay. Um, they were talking about not bringing the videos up, and I'm going to assume because again, I said this before, and I will say it again. Even if you did or do not believe the situation of how it happened between Megan and Tori in the beginning, you know, before she got to the point of saying that you shot me, Tori shot me. If your team didn't spread on social media, I won't even say anything. But you know what? Fuck you. Okay, they're basically representing the fact that if you go into her lives, the stories do not match. Okay. They said the colorful, and so back to the vulgar thing. So I'm going to assume only because I left early today because I have to go to work. But the whole her language, Millie's language is gonna keep being referenced, and not to think it's gonna be the end all be all. But a bunch of grown ass folks don't want to hear you cuss all the time. Like it's like, damn girl, aren't you supposed to be a lady? Like, what are you doing? So like, it might be a kiki listen to her shows and shit, but it's not cute when you in the courthouse. Like, okay, um they're claiming that okay, she didn't call Megan a liar. It's the fact that like I don't think what she said is true. Well, that's being called a liar. Okay, girl, you gotta say the girl's situation was the way it was, then wouldn't be called a liar. All right. Um, they said that Megan needs to prove that Millie's conduct is crazy. I was scratching my head at that because once again, you got homegirls address or searching for address in your phone, and mind you, they made reference to the fact that she deleted X amount of messages. We know is in the case. Like, girl, okay. Um, they reference the fact that that Millie's audience defends her. The mob runs down for Millie, and even when she's wrong, you're not gonna tell her she's wrong. So, they made reference to the fact that the whole go to my likes thing wasn't even Millie promoting it because again, she didn't spread no link, so that need to be thrown out. I don't think it will because once again, they played it 3 times in the courthouse. Um, Oh, they made reference to Millie's motherhood. Oh, she's a mother. Like, why would you want to do this to her when she has kids? And they didn't mention her husband, right? I mean, they mentioned she's a family, but like they didn't mention Alex really. So whatever. Um, they mentioned her degrees. Millie said she's a criminal justice degree or whatever. And they're like, oh, she got all straight A's. I don't know about that, but all right. They also represent the fact that Millie used to like Megan. If y'all remember back in the Gap, Millie did talk highly of Megan. And y'all remember her going to, I was like, y'all, like, y'all, if you don't know Millie, then you don't like know about or whatever. They made reference to the fact that she went out there trying to see Megan. She went to school, doing little fundraisers to try to get Megan attention or whatever. That didn't obviously work, and now we're here today. They said that y'all can't be biased with Millie because she's covered more than just the Megan and Tory case. Which okay, that's true, but through what sense? Like outside that being the biggest thing she's covered per se, like what can you represent? Oh yeah, Millie covered this and it was great. Like nothing will ever top the cover she did with the Megan and Tory case. Um, and basically how they ended it was that you know your speech to being a blogger needs to be protected, and if y'all are anything with Tasha K and Cardi B, it ain't take one too many times if you lie on a bitch for her to go sue you. And I said before, this is literally a Tasha and Cardi 2.0. Because once again, we're just letting a celebrity and a celebrity find got tired of you talking shit about them and not like, bitch, I'm gonna sue your ass. Okay, so that's all I took for now because I left at 2:20 to get to work on time, and I barely made it. So let's get into the tea that I told y'all I want to talk about because of the fact that yeah so as I told y'all in the beginning, I ran into Megan Cuda when I first walked in, but there was also a young man. There was a young man that worked for TMZ who did not like he worked for TMZ, but he did. Um he was being a little nosy child, and he pulled me, and if y'all know Donat, he also was there today. I ran into him as well. Allegedly, Megan Cuda and him got into a little spat, where she tried to kick him out the motherfucking courthouse. Apparently Megan Cuda has a preference for kicking niggas out, shit. But that's nor here nor there. If y'all follow the Tory case with Milagro and Armand, y'all know that yeah, nonsense. So let's get into Milagro's team. So as I said earlier, Rhonda Dixon did not come to the court because she's not gonna be there today. But what the TMZ dude was like giving a side eye was because of the fact that one of Millie's lawyers' names is Natasha with a C, being I me. Why does that matter? Because allegedly this young lady, I'm trying to pull this shit on Twitter, but it's not pulling up. Like, yeah, I'm on Twitter right now doing live. I'm trying to pull up my tablet, it's not working because this shit's old as hell. But love it. Apparently, Miss Natasha daddy is the mayor of North Miami. So does that mean anything? I have no fucking idea. But obviously that means this girl is an important person, and apparently she has her own firm and she did it for 6 years. So she got money. Or whatever the fuck. Now as for Megan's primary lawyer, and this shit will not pull up. Baby girl, work, please. Don't mind me. Um Megan's head lawyer, which is the white dude, he looked familiar to me when I walked in, but I couldn't put my finger on it, and because this tab would not load up. But let's just say Mr. Man is a very, very important person. And I know he's important because when Mr. TMZ dude was trying to dig into who they was, he went and walked up to they up to Megan and people's table. I mean, not like behind, like literally behind the whatever, right? And like glanced over, and obviously he came back. He made a face. So obviously Megan's primary lord, the dude, is very damn important. Um, what else that was a key that I was kind of finding funny. Yeah, Denat and Miss Megan Cuniff. So now here about Megan Cuniff, and again, no shade to her because I'm not gonna talk shit. She's actually really pleasant in person, a little aki, but she pleasant. What I found crazy about Megan Cuniff and Denat, because again, I may reference the fact that I believe allegedly that Denat was having a little spat with Megan Cuniff, and he called her a culture vulture, and I was just like, girl, like, did not shut up, like, we in the court case, like, don't act like a nigga, because we only two niggas in here, and then we went on to like in there. There's also the light skinned chick in the back with glasses. She pretty as hell, but she was not sitting next to us. Obviously, she too pretty to sit around a bunch of niggas. But yeah, she's sitting in the back. So yeah, I seen Megan Cuniff make a comment about not Megan's team, but like a conversation in regards to like body language. Like I said, the older generation, especially Mr. Man, who the teacher, was looking very disgusted at the commentary because once again, like I said prior, the girl cursed too much, and I think just that alone, outside of all other things exposed. In this case, it's not gonna look good for her. But again, that's me assuming, not because I just want to. Um, and did not also made a comment today because I was over there when he did his coverage. And one thing he said that I kind of looked like, I don't know if that's true or not, but let's be real for a second. I do think these celebrities do check us out in a way because his whole thing was, oh, how does Megan Cuda get close to Megan, but I can't? Well, I mean, again, some about making out like niggas. I don't know, child. Listen, I'm just saying shit because I can understand, when a man that shot you and you mad as hell, like you're not trying to do other niggas. And that's primarily why I feel like all of her team is white because of that. Obviously, she got money, but also because like yeah, no. Um, Now just to end this off. Um, a lot of y'all favorite bloggers, in quotations, favorite bloggers, will be coming the next couple of days, including CTV, Love Me Some Conscious TV. Apparently, academics in town over the weekend, and he's part of the witness team, so he should be there at some point in time. I don't know if he'll be there in person, but they didn't have his deposition. Armand Wiggins said he was possibly coming. I hope he really doesn't come, but that's just from all personal reasons he don't show up. I got nothing against me, but if you know, you know. Tasha K apparently coming, but also Tasha K might possibly bring her own peoples instead of her going, but you know, who knows? Um, but I will say this though. This is my first time being in the courtroom. It was very weird but exciting. Cause like you see it on TV like Judge Judy and Judge Joe Brown and all them people, and you'll sit there and be like, it really be like in the courtroom like that. It's for TV, but that's really how it be when a judge walk in. Everybody rise, gotta stand up. You maybe see this, sit down. As to bring the jurors in, that was its own process. Watching how they cut down the jurors was a great process to watch because again, as I said earlier, two of the jurors would have been biased per their own situations in their lives. Which again, I'm glad that Judge Anson was like, no, and I do believe that they picked a very non-biased group of jurors. Per Millie's first day today, like I said, all that cussing and ish is not gonna do her any good. But since I believe Megan Kunis said that Megan does talk tomorrow, I'm very excited to hear what she says, and I'm gonna only wonder if she's going to make reference to Tori as much as I think she is, or is she only going to go off of Milagro and like her social media posts, things like that. But I will say this: their team ain't playing with her. I'm gonna be honest. Their team's not playing with her because the way they pulled up them audios with the quickness, if they have what I think they have, girl, it's a wrap. But how would I know? Um, they're just to come conclusion. They told us that they want to finish by next Wednesday. Because Thanksgiving is Thursday, and then the holiday is Friday. We're not counting Saturday and Sunday coming up. So they're hoping by next Wednesday. They say if it goes past next Wednesday, they'll try to include either that following Monday or Tuesday. So let's just see what happens. But I will say this though. I honestly don't understand why they're in Florida. Like, yes, I understand. Yes, Megan has a residence here, so she lives here, whatever. But I could have sworn Megan didn't live here. So, all right. Um, and calling it a Tory 2.0 case is diabolical. But I mean, his name is written all over it, and they're gonna play depositions from Tory and Sunstar. So I'm wondering what's in that because they kept saying Tory didn't want to give up anything. So I honestly don't know what we're gonna hear. But yeah, this was day one. Um, I will say this. Like I said, all the heavy hitters are going to be there tomorrow. I gotta be there early as hell. Okay, like 8 o'clock in the morning early because that list. Because I didn't say this earlier. When I came in from break, there was a different person at the reception's desk, and that lady had a whole list of people with our media, Miami Herald, TMZ, all these people that are gonna be there tomorrow. Now, not necessarily mean the courthouse gonna be full as hell with all these people that are bloggers, but of course, it's not fair that I could be my phone in there, but like the other good people could. I mean, everybody had a phone that decided me or not. So, because obviously we're independent, so we're not really quote unquote media per se. But I will say that it was cool that they didn't really give us a hard time to get in there today because we were early, but that's only because like nobody was really there. Outside like the TMZ dude and Megan Cuda and me and did not. The other people in the room I did not recognize, so I won't be there tomorrow, but I did recognize that excuse me, that the two young ladies that was there, taking notes and stuff were not there in the afternoon. And three other guys came in that I did not see prior to the case. So don't know what happened tomorrow. Besides the fact that making's going, I wonder who we gonna see tomorrow. But that's what I report on. So with that being said, I don't know if anybody wants to come up and talk because I've never done it before on Spaces. But I'm going to end this here. I appreciate you guys for listening, and I will come back tomorrow, probably around the same time. Because, like I said, I tried to do this early 8 o'clock with my earpiece in, and it did not sound good. So I'm hoping the quality without the AirPods sounds great. So when I play it back, hopefully it sounds good. But I appreciate the